Through XP series, we dive into a world of insights and innovation featuring renowned industry experts and business leaders in the testing and QA ecosystem. I'm your host, Kavya, Director of Product Marketing at Test, and it's a pleasure to have you all with us today. Let me introduce you to our guest on the show, Nilmini Ariyawansa, a quality engineering architect at KYG Trade. Nilmini brings a wealth of experience in software testing, automation, DevOps, and process excellence. Her career journey is truly inspiring, having previously served as head of QA and QA manager, where she successfully led high performing teams to implement as well as scale quality strategies, streamline testing processes, and drive continuous improvement. Today's session is all about exploring how to seamlessly integrate testing into agile workflows to deliver high quality software faster and smarter. Isn't that what everyone wants? As businesses accelerate their digital transformation journeys, the need for efficient and scalable as well as reliable testing practices have become more critical than ever. And Nilmani will dive into real world challenges faced by teams working at scale and share practical solutions. So let's jump straight into the heart of the discussion. Nilmani, please tell us a bit about yourself and your QA journey with our audience.
Okay. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share my knowledge and insight with the industry. It is truly an honor to be here and contribute to the ongoing conversation around agile testing, and automation, CI/CD integration, and so on things. A little bit about myself. I have a strong passion for quality assurance, process management, and automation and CI/CD DevOps practices. And having worked across various agile environments throughout my career, I have focused on helping teams scaling testing practices, improve efficiency, and ultimately deliver better software faster. Yeah, today I'm eager to share my journey and the lesson I have learned throughout my way. Yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Nilmini. That's amazing. So, the first question, which is, what are the biggest challenges that you see while integrating testing into agile workflows, and what are your recommendations or best practices to overcome them?
Yeah, there are a lot of challenges. I will highlight a few of them when it's going to be implemented in a agile, fast-paced environment. The first thing is, agile mindset. So, uh, to do everything, we should have a good mindset. We should know the foundation and basic knowledge of agile principles like that, right? So, uh, because in a traditional QA, what we do, testing after development and finding defects and working in isolation environment and manual heavy testing, right? Mostly we are doing manual testing in the traditional QA. And also we have a lot of documentation. Without a document says SRS, BR, so we not touch the testing, right? That is the traditional QA. But in a uh, agile QA mindset, what we are doing, testing during development. We are not waiting until the developer gives us to development releases to start the testing. In agile QA mindset, we have to start the testing with the development, right? So, and also we are not finding defects. What we are doing, we are preventing defects early in the phases, and also working as a part of team in the agile. We have several team members, we are working together, we are doing collaboratively, and always automation first mindset, because we have to deliver fast. So, and also we should be the quality champion, not just a document and process owners, right? So these are very few QA mind test in the agile. So that is a big challenge. So if you don't have this kind of set of good quality mindset for the agile environment, definitely it is a very big challenge. We cannot come with the particular successful outcome. So that is one thing. To overcome this, what we have to go for, we have to define clear agile test strategy first. It should be organized wise. So otherwise, it will be mess with the testing process inside the sprint and like that. So when come to the agile test strategy, we should go through that test pyramid level, right? We should have uh, consider about the what are the testing type throughout the testing life cycle and how should we go like that. So that is a one thing. Other challenges is time. Everybody know, right? In agile, we work with the frequent releases and short sprints, typically 10 days long. We call 2 weeks length for the sprint. And from that, we have 8 days the execution for the tasks. The team commits to deliver a set of story point after each and every sprint. However, one of the key challenges we face is limited time for QA because the build are often shut mid of a sprint or closer to the end. Then QA don't have much time to do it. So this is leave us time for throughout testing, which can impact test coverage and overall quality. And that's why we always suggest shift left approach. So we have to start testing beginning of the development. That we should not wait until developer come and say we have done. You have to start testing like that. We should together with developer. We should start early. We have to start the game early. That is one thing. And as I said before, we should have a agile QA mindset. We have to work together with the developer. We have to use as much as uh, early bug finding, early places. Right then, when come to the right hand side in the QA cycle, we can directly execute the tests and give the releases fastly. That is the things, the shift left approach, right? So other thing is selecting right automation strategy. That is a big challenge. In the agile environment, always we should go with the past pace. So in that case, how we can leverage this? We have to use the best automation strategy. That is also one challenge. Team often struggle to decide which tools or technologies to use and what test scenario should be automated versus tested manually. This lack of clarity creates a significant gap in the overall test strategy and approach. So we have to mindful to select best automation test strategy. I think we can talk in the uh, future how we going for the automation in the agile environment. So these are the few challenges I think.
Thank you so much, Nilmini, for pointing that out. I was listening to it as you were saying because I think it starts right with the mindset change in itself, and then you move on to that is embracing that agile mindset, understanding what are the principles that the teams need to utilize or implement, and then of course from there on, once the foundation is built, figuring out the next strategies as well as, of course, working on the shift left approach and so on. So, thank you for sharing those insights. Moving on to the next question, can you also shed light on how teams or organizations should make a balance through testing with the rapid pace of agile development? Because the releases are happening, at a very fast pace as of today. So, how do teams find that fine balance in order to, uh, you know, keep up with that pace?
Yeah, so next section. So that is the one thing the in the today industry coming through the agile development methodology, right? We have to deliver the things fastly. Customer asking very quickly. We need like this. So the, always testing quality is the number one because customer do not want to release without quality. They want quality product on time, right? So we have to align with that. That's why I told you in the previously we should go for the shift left testing approach. That is the um, methodology, that is the way. So we have to go with the agile environment. So there are a lot of ceremonies in the agile. The sprint backlog groomings, sprint planning, and daily scrum, so on things. So QA should participate uh, every possible ceremonies at the beginning. It is not only one QA lead. If you have a 3, 4, 5 QAs, all QAs should be participate that level. If it is a customer face uh, requirement gathering, that is also not a problem. We should participate. We should share everything within the QA team, right? So then what we can do, we can start uh, gathering the requirement, analyzing the things. The At the beginning of the sprint, we can give some design suggestions to the architecture developer before they start to development, right? That's what we are calling shift left testing approach. That is the best practices. And also other thing, we always think about the test pyramid level. We should start how to do the unit testing and the integration testing and the API testing, UI testing, E2E testing, UAT testing. It is like this pyramid level. We have to go like that way. And other things, so we are we have to think about best automation strategy. So with the shift testing approach, we always bind it with the test automation. So that is a one of QA mindset. Automation first. So at the beginning, we can draft the test script together with developer. One developer gives the releases to us, then QA just change the particular parameter or URL or something very quickly, right? Then we do not want to waste time to testing manually, right? That is the one thing. Simply testing together with the automation will give fast releases to the sprint. That is a way I am using mostly. I think it is success. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that insight, Nilmini. That is super insightful and good to hear that that automation first approach actually helped your team. So moving on to the next question, what's your approach to test data management in CI/CD pipelines while maintaining agile velocity?
Yes, good question. So let's discuss what is this test data management through our CI/CD pipeline, right? So continuous test data management we call TDM, right? So it's derived from the principle of continuous testing. And continuous testing is a key component of CI/CD pipeline. And with this approach, testing and test data management happen across the different phases of CI/CD life cycle, right? So always the test data management, we should go with test pyramid level. Because why? Unit and component level testing, we are more synthetic, right? We have to use more synthetic test data. And we have atomic level test cases there. So we can do some hard coded and so on, things like that, synthetic test data. When come to the integration and uh, some contract level testing in CI/CD pipeline, we use hybrid model of test data there. It's like optimized data coverage and balance of data, variety and the volume, and test data matching and so on things. So we should consider like that way. When come to the E2E, UI, UAT level, always more production like test data set we should have, right? So because we should take lower test data coverage and balance of data variety and volume, and except for some security testing and so on things, right? So in some data, we have to mask, right? Some we are using Placky, some we are using mock. It is a different kind of setup with the different testing type, and we have to bind these things together with CI/CD pipeline throughout test data repository. We have to manage test data separately. And whenever the testing type is occur, we have to retrieve that test data from the particular test repository. And also we have to make sure we shouldn't leak any E2E level test data on the spot in even it is a script, even it is the manual testing, no matter. In the CI/CD pipeline, always E2E level test data we are masking because it is more production like test data, right? So that is the biggest things when we are doing the test data management throughout CI/CD pipeline. And also we can use some model driven approach for test data. As I mentioned previously, we have to maintain the central repository and the flow like that way. That is also one thing. And also, if we can use service visualization and conjunction with the TDA model, so that is also best things we can do. Likewise, we can do several kind of test data management throughout CI/CD. It is how you model it, right? When modeling it, we should have keep mind our test pyramid level and the security concerns and visualization things and so on things. So that is the way I am mostly using.
That sounds great, Nilmini, and very insightful as well, to understand more about test data management in itself and how you're sort of tackling it throughout the different cycles within the Agile model itself. And just wanted to, out of curiosity, just wanted to understand if you could double click on service visualization part that you mentioned, right? Could
Yeah.
you probably share more about it?
Yeah, service visualization is a well-established practices for agile development and testing, right?
Okay.
So by visualizing the dependencies, uh, which the system under test defend upon like that way, right?
Hmm.
So we also reduce the test data management burden because sometimes if the data is not accurate, our
Hmm.
CI/CD pipeline can be break out,
Hmm.
right? Test can be
Yeah.
failed. That is a burden
Yeah.
for us. We should not
Hmm.
depend on that, right? In
Hmm.
fact, the type of test data used, whether synthetic, as I said, whether it is hybrid, it is production like, correlate
Yeah.
with the extent of service visualization used, right? At the bottom of the test pyramid, we aggressively use both synthetic test data and virtual services towards to up pyramid. We use more realistic state data with the real application component when come to the E2E level. Right? We can use hybrid approach for the middle test. This correlation of progressive service visualization with progressive test data management along the CI/CD pipeline is uh, very uh, insightful, right? So if you can see some diagram with that is the best way to explain, but unfortunately today I cannot do it. So it is that's why I call we should have always test data repository together with services, gateways, and the test pyramid level. And when you are designing the code, when you are getting the automation is stuck throughout the test pyramid level, you have to retrieve the data based on that level things. That is the
Yeah.
visualization main things. And
Hmm.
also when using service virtual service for test data, we need to make sure that we are maintaining consistency between data used to drive the test, right? That is also one major point. So likewise, there are a lot of things we are engaging with the databases and getting the data from there. That is the virtual services we are using, right?
Thank you so much, Nilmini, for sharing those insights. Pretty insightful. Yeah. And moving on to the next question, what are the key benefits and challenges of using generative AI in agile testing?
Uh, yeah. So it is an insightful question in nowadays is happening mostly. So yeah, generative AI has the potential to transformation agile testing, right? But it is crucial to implement it thoughtfully, strategically, making sure it enhance manual testing and integrates seamlessly into the existing agile practices. But AI is also born from human creativity, right? And has tremendous potential, but we must be mindful not to rely on it entirely. Over-reliance on AI could hinder the development of future innovation and creativity in the industry. That is my thought, I guess. So the human mind must always stay at the center, guiding and enhancing AI's capability. To use AI effectively, we need a solid foundation in knowledge. It may be technically skilled and a logical thinking, ensuring it is supposed and to use human abilities rather than replacing them directly. That is one thing we have to have before using AI things, right? there are a lot of benefits, I think, nowadays. We can use faster test case creations and maintenance, and also we can ask to adjust our test cases in a clearly, and also we can learn some automation stuff, and then we can leverage this to our automation like that. And some, I told before, we need some flaky data and mock data and so on things we can use to generate test data. Right? Sometimes, if you can ask, can you give the test data management sheet, set data for this particular scenario? They will give us. If we ask to generate some common test class, they will give us. We should be able to understand it, how to leverage to our code base. That is the things, right? And also there are a lot of challenges. We should not forget it. AI is also developed by human with a lot of collection data from gathered from the different sources. Right? The AI generated test may lack accuracy. That's why we should not use it directly. And it is also leading to trust issues. Customer base, we cannot give the fully requirement there. They are storing. So if it is,
Absolutely.
yeah, so it is big challenge. Also, integrating with existing system can be a very complex. That is also major challenge. And also AI will give, when we are creating test cases, if we ask create the test cases for this particular scenario, AI will give based on their understanding and their resources. But requirement, domain, that's we have, right? So other challenges is AI can miss the edge cases, the real-time customer scenario. That is also challenging. When we are using, we should be very careful for that. And also the privacy and handling sensitive data, that is very challenging. We shouldn't go there. And also lack of specializing in the AI and ML, if you don't have good foundation level, if you don't have a good technical skill, just you go into AI and ask you to do the things, that will not work. Before using that, you should have it, right? That is the things what I am thinking. So I am
Mhm.
using GitHub Copilot, Open API sometimes, but I know how to use it. Before getting the things, I will learn it, and I get the background. Had a solid. I am check whether I have solid foundation for the particular scenario, how to draft, how to framework, how to architecture it. So I learn it first, and then go to the GitHub Copilot and getting that is to seamless my development time like that. That's the way I am using currently.
Thank you so much, Nilmini. That definitely throws a lot of light and also aligns with um, what, in fact, we've been thinking about AI, right? I mean, what we shouldn't forget is that, of course, it's built by humans.
Yes.
It's the data has been fed by humans. So, of course, while there are multiple benefits, there are also challenges related to using AI when it comes to testing in itself.
Yeah.
And of course, based on your experience, how should agile teams ensure continuous feedback loops to improve software quality? Because I can imagine that with AI, there's more test cases that's been written, right? There are more code being generated and so on. So how should agile teams also ensure that there is a continuous feedback loops to improve the quality of software throughout?
Yes. There are a lot of things we can do throughout the Agile, because Agile have a lot of ceremonies like backlog refinement and sprint planning and retrospective, sprint review, and there are so many ceremonies. So we can leverage the sprint ceremonies to capture real-time feedback related to the testing activities, right? And also we can perform sprint trend analysis to identify recurring testing issues, gaps, and areas of improvement over time. We can use a sprint help card, because we are drawing the burn down chart, and we are collecting the real issues throughout the retrospective like that. And also we can track key matrices like defect density, defect leakage, and automation coverage to measure the effectiveness of test effort. So I can tell you things how we can implement feedback loop via retrospective and so on thing. So before starting a retrospective, we have to dedicate a segment for testing. So we have to add a specific section, testing feedback, two-way observations, and like that. There we can tell what we have uh, faced during the last sprint and any bugs found too late. Sometimes we can find bug during end of the sprint day because we are hurry to release the things. And we can ask whether we did have a critical automation there. Is it enough? Or it is help or it is hurt for us. So repeated manual effort did we had. So something like that we can always ask whether any environment we use, right? So throughout that we can simplify our processes like that. So, and also when we come to the feedback, there are team members, not only QA, they also can share with us. The developer can say QA did not do this. So QAs are not supported this right. So then we can collect that feedback and we can set the action for that for next sprint. Like that. If you did notice environment unstable issues, we have to plan for stable QA environment next sprint. If you did see regression is low or misedge cases or placky tests like that, always you should be think about how to do the better software automations and how to do parallel testing and how to record the test data. Like that, we can do some actions there, right? And also we can track trend sprint over sprint. So we can see how the trend is going. There are some matrices like that, and we can think how they are increase their things. So like that, we can check that track. Those we can do, I think, for the improve our feedback throughout the agile environment.
Thank you so much, Nilmini. That's super insightful and also gives a fresh perspective to quality engineering leaders who want to sort of implement, a similar feedback loop within their organization or processes in itself.
Yeah.
And moving on to the next question, which is very, which is tied to the previous question itself. As
Right.
organizations scale their agile practices, how do you go about maintaining testing standards without creating bottlenecks?
Yeah, this is also awesome question. So, uh, in my experience, there are a lot of tools, methodology I tried, but most of them are getting failed. Then what I did, mm, so I think about to how to build a common ground for that, right? So QA or testing center of excellence is an effective approach to maintain testing standard while scaling agile across multiple teams without becoming bottlenecks. That is my thought. So, because since most of us are working remotely now across different cultures, different time zone, and varied technical backgrounds, it becomes even more important to create a common ground where we can all align, collaborate, and grow together. Right? That is exactly where a QA center of excellence plays a crucial role. It becomes the shared space, the neutral ground where best practices leave knowledge loss. And everyone has access to the same tool, standards, and learning opportunities no matter where we are in the world. If we can do that, that is the things we have to consider. And I can share a bit of how QACOE can help maintain testing standard at a scale. Uh, we should think about define and govern standards, but still we have to stay in agile mindset. We should know agile principle. Throughout the CEOs, we have to set lightweight best practices, not the very heavy or something like that. We have to give the best agile test strategy, automation guideline, likewise. And also, we have to enable team to engage with the CEO with throughout that guardrails, not heavy rules, right? So it is not control them. We are just enable them to participate this and use this reusable. Let us know the feedback. If it is not sure, go again and try different kind of things. And we can give the training and workshops on things. And also COP, community of practice. It is the common things and mostly practices. So we can share the give a demo and regular knowledge sharing and how to do test case writing, how to do the test automation, and if you miss something, how we can leverage it again, and like that. If you want to do the some tool, right? We can discuss there which tool is best for the automation for particular product, particular projects, something like that, and then we can get this soon throughout that feedback loop, which we have discussed previously. Understood? All are combined together. So I think that is the one major things.
Thank you so much, Nilmini. That really throws a lot of insights into how teams can go about creating or ensuring that they are maintaining the testing standards. And of course, I think a lot of times when team members are working remotely, there is increased chance of that challenges coming into the light, for instance, right? But having like a centralized approach when it comes to knowledge sharing or like best practices and so on, that would definitely be useful for the quality engineering teams. And now we are on to the last question, which is basically how has your approach to test automation evolved over the years, and which tools would you recommend for an agile environment?
Yes, that is my interesting topic, test automation throughout agile environment. When we are talking about the automation, so automation in agile isn't about automating everything. We should understand it. And it's about automating the right thing at the right level to get faster, more reliable feedback. It is automation is a team asset, not only QA, right? End of the day, we are delivering the quality product on time, fastly. That is a team asset. Uh, when come to the automation, I have my own pillars. So it's like the automate early, automate smartly. And I highly recommend test pyramid level as we discussed previously. It is the way we have to think unit test integration and how we do the automation thing stuff. And uh, uh, fastly, that means fail fast and fix, right? Fast, that is we know. And stable maintainability should be very clean, lightweight, and also when we are doing fast paced delivery, it must to have CI/CD pipeline, and also monitoring and control, maintenance. It is regular thing, right? That is my own things when doing the automation. And another section you asked for me, the tool selections, right? So tool selection actually should respect the product technology while enabling agile practices of fast feedback, collaboration, and continuous improvement. If the product is built on C Sharp, as example, try to stay in the .NET ecosystem for automation, whatever possible. There is a reason why I am saying. It's help with skill reusability, maintainability, and fast adoption within agile environment. If I give a sample example, when we are define the tooling stack for the C sharp background, we should go unit test with the X unit or N unit. But we recommend X unit because it is a newer feature. And API test, we should go REST sharp or spec. I mean, you can use uh, REST sharp plus spec flow together because it is a powerful API validation, right? And also UI test. Nowadays, most of the people are talking playwright because it's modern, fast, reliable, and we can use BDD style with the agile. If we have a non-technical people, often we have to go with the BDD style. Reporting CI/CD pipeline mostly go Azure DevOps and so on things. If it is Java like that, we can use JUnit test ng, something like that. And the UI test Playwright or Java Selenium. API test we can go for Red Azure or something like that. That is sample example. And as I said before, technology stack always comes first because it is non-negotiable. Because if you use C sharp, we cannot non-negotiable. We have to go for that. Yeah, I like that things, and also my recommendation uh, for some people in the industry when doing the automation, please plan it carefully. Otherwise, it is useless because we do the automation to smooth the development process, to reduce the manual effort, do the fast-paced releases. If we are not carefully planning it, our time, effort, cost, everything will be gone. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Nilmini. That definitely sheds a lot of light into how the team should be approaching test automation as a whole. Because, automation is what is driving. I mean, when it comes to quality engineering, right, it's driving all the digital transformation. And of course, the test automation is like an important cog in the wheel for that, right? So, really helpful insights. Thank you so much. It has been an amazing and insightful session. Nilmini, thank you so much for sharing insights on how to integrate testing seamlessly into agile workflows. Of course, it's a pleasure to learn about the best practices, strategies, and solutions that you've sort of personally implemented across different teams to deliver faster and smarter, software. I'm sure that our attendees would have also really gained a lot of perspective from your experience and expertise. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So thank you once again. And to all our attendees, thank you for joining us today. We hope today's session has been super insightful for you in terms of understanding, what are the actionable takeaways that you can sort of implement to optimize your agile workflows and elevate software quality. So stay connected for more episodes in the XP podcast series, where we bring you insights from thought leaders and industry experts on the future of testing. Thank you and have a great day, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Thank you again. Okay, bye.
Thanks, Nalmini.